Savage Dan. Ben Shalom, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Big Mo. Welcome, everybody, to Manchester. Another historic night of boxing awaits us at the AO Arena on Saturday. This card has everything. It has rematches, debuts, grudge matches, world titles, and an undisputed fight at top of the bill. Let me bring in boxers promoter Ben Shalom. Ben, it was unfortunate to lose the Eubank Smith fight, but is this card a show of the depth that is available at Sky?
Yeah, I think it shows the strength in women's boxing. I think when a box office fight like that falls out, there's only a handful of fighters in the whole of the country that can headline any arena in it, and Savannah Marshall is one of those fighters. Headlined at the O2 in one of the most historic events we've seen in boxing history, and now headlines in the Manchester Arena in a second undisputed fight. Natasha Jonas also hoping to become a two-weight world champion. It's going to be a special night in Manchester. Over 8,000 tickets already sold in Savannah Marshall's, in Manchester, which is even Savannah's hometown. So a big night on Saturday night and a huge card as well.
Let's meet the fighters. First, let's go to April Hunter and Kirsty Bavington. Kirsty, I'll come to you first. Last time out, you took the fight at 4 days' notice and you caused an upset. What's your recollection of that fight?
I won, that's it. It's going to be a repeat on Saturday. I'm going to end April's career, and that's it. Shut her mouth once and for all. So I pull this mouth over social media and just get it done and get the job done. Repeat.
It seems more personal this time. Why?
I think it's just a disrespect. Since it's been 2 years, I don't know how it can be a rematch. We've offered it how many times now? So
I've never been offered it once. And you're on about ending my career. Your career's practically finished. You had European titles stripped off you for boxing that badly, and you didn't land a punch on Lauren Price. So I think you just
listen. I've had big fights compared to you. You're a joke. You're a joke to the sport. You're a poor role model. You shake someone's hand when you've had a loss. I've lost. Who cares? Get on with it. You move on. Shake hands. Move on. You had a tantrum and run off.
You're a bit salty, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's going to be a repeat on Saturday. Your career's over.
We'll see. We'll see Saturday.
April, you've obviously wanted this rematch for a while. How hard was it to get it?
I don't understand. I've never been offered this rematch once. I've been asking for this for a long time.
Your team don't let you know anything? They don't want you on the show?
I think they would. I think they'd let us know. They don't want us on the show. What are you on about? I'm surprised you're a teacher because you can barely speak. You can barely understand it. What are you even talking about?
Since that loss, you've gone on to have 2 good wins. You're with Peter Fury. How have you improved as a fighter?
I've improved in every aspect. I've got all the tools in the box to beat Kirsty on Saturday night. I just need to get in there, relax, listen to me coach Peter, and that's that.
Kirsty, you said that in your last fight, you were a little bit flat. I'm guessing the fire's lit for this one. There's no danger of that.
No, I'm ready for this one. Yeah, a little bit flat, obviously. You know, I'm boxing Lauren Price, I'm boxing big fights. So, yeah, I did feel a little bit flat, but I've been active. Like, I've had a lot of fights, so I just want to make sure like the energy's there for this one. It's a bit personal, so different kind of energy, yeah.
April, how much did that loss hurt you, and what changes have you made and do you have to make to beat Kirsty this time?
Well, it's never nice to lose, is it? But Kirsty's getting in with a completely different person on Saturday night than she got in that last fight. No excuses, but listen, I'm a different fighter. I'm super fit, I'm super strong, and I'm ready to give her a hell of a night on Saturday night.
So why did we box at our actual weight then, if you're super fit?
But that's the thing.
Why
it was a problem
last
time
to get
the fight done. Making the weight. That was the whole problem. That's why I was drained. So
I mean, we boxed at a completely different way on the last one. Why can't we make that this time?
Because it's hard for us to make the weight. That's the whole point. Peter doesn't want us boxing at welter. That's why I'm at super welter. What can't you comprehend? Where's your brain at, man?
I feel like this is heating up quite nicely. Any final words to each other?
Nah, I just hope she's ready on Saturday night, because I am.
I'm more than ready. I'm ready to end you.
Couldn't end anything. She couldn't knock the skin off a rice pudding. You can barely punch her. What are you actually ending?
Well, that's a good way to start a press conference, I guess. Next, let's go to Callum Simpson and Boris Crichton. Boris, you've been busy this year already. This will be your 4th fight. But it's a big ask. You're up against Callum. How do you beat him?
I don't really think it's a big ask, to be fair. I've been in this position before. Changes nothing. He's a fighter that's never been hit before. He's not been above 4 rounds. we'll see what happens when he gets past that 4th round, the 6th round, the 8th round, and he starts to really feel that pace. We'll see when he feels what it's like when he gets hit. So it's not really much of a puzzle to solve.
You came in at 1 day's notice against Lyndon Arthur, and you gave a very good account of yourself. This time you've had longer to prepare. Does that give you added confidence?
The confidence I had to take a fight in 1 day's notice changes nothing. The confidence is exactly the same. The fact that I can take a fight in a day's notice, and I've got 6 weeks camp, of course it's going to make me confident, but it changes nothing. A fight is a fight. I was fit then, I'm fit now. Let's go.
How much of Callum have you watched? What are his strengths, his weaknesses? What do you have to do?
There's nothing there that impresses me when I watch it. There's nothing there that I physically think I have to worry about. Like I said, it's not about watching him, it's about seeing who he's fought. And he's fighting bus drivers and guys that work at call centers. They're not hard to beat. He's a super middleweight that's fought 2 middleweights in his last 2 fights. There's just really nothing there. When he gets in with the ring with a real super middleweight, then we'll find out.
Callum, Boris has a habit of handing unbeaten fighters their first loss. What do you have to do to make sure that you get your hand raised on Saturday?
Listen, everything that Boris is saying is music to my ears, you know. Saying he's not got a puzzle to solve, I've not fought no one, is going to know about it on Saturday. And
you haven't fought anyone.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's not true.
No, you're correct. But everything you're saying is music to my ears, and I think like, I was excited for this fight to begin with, and I'm even more excited now. You know, yeah, he stepped in on a day's notice against Lyndon Arthur, but I'm no Lyndon Arthur. And the thing for me is, yeah, my last 9 fights have not gone past 3 rounds, like 5 in the first round. And it's for a reason. Look at the other people that fought them guys, and they weren't getting them out there. They were taking them the full 4 or 8 rounds, or however many rounds they were going. And yeah, so I think, like I said, I'm not being hit. I was out sparring with Tibia for 6 weeks, did over 30 rounds with the hardest puncher at light heavyweight. And, you know, I've been asked to go back again, so I think that just shows for itself. But, you know, I've got a lot to prove on Saturday, and I believe I'm going to do that.
Last time out, we saw you blast through Celso Neves. You looked super sharp yesterday at the public workout. Do you feel like you've got some good momentum right now?
Yeah, I've got good momentum, but, you know, those them fights, this is now. And, you know, we've watched Boris, we've seen what he's about, and I think he's in big trouble on Saturday.
Expecting a big turnout from the Barnsley faithful?
Yeah, as always, yeah, you know, it's building every fight. My support's building every fight, so, yeah, there's plenty coming over to watch me knock him out.
Looking at the year ahead, you know, not trying to look past Boris, but what do you want to achieve this year?
By the end of this year, I want this title. Is that the English? By the end of this year, I want that title at least. Maybe the British will see.
Ben, it's a demand there. He wants the English, but he has a big test on Saturday night.
Yeah, I remember we had a lot of people in our team telling me to sign Callum Simpson for a long time, and we managed to get it over the line eventually. We have a fully fledged professional that's learned his craft on the small hall and has the ability and the talent and the superstar potential to go right to the top of the division. I think Boris Crichton shows the intention they have within the camp. This is a serious opponent for Callum at this stage of his career, and he'll be looking to put on a performance, but he wants to go right to the top of the division. Obviously, he's got Zach Chelli next to him as well, but Callum's got to get through Saturday night. It's going to be a tough fight, and Boris has been extremely active recently, and I expect to see the best Boris Crichton as well.
You mentioned Zach Chelli there. Let's go next to our wild card fight, which is Zach Chelli against Mark Jeffers. Zach, I'll come to you first. You were originally scheduled to fight Mark Heffron, and you seem to be very unlucky when it comes to getting opponents in the ring. Do you just feel like you're the most avoided super middleweight?
Yeah, well, I guess so. Laurent Richards first, now Mark Heffron. I wonder who's next. But I'd like to say thank you for Mark Jeffers for taking the fight. Don't want to scare you away, so hopefully we'll have a great fight. I'll do my trash talking in the ring.
Mark, this is an interesting one because although it looks like people don't want to fight Zach, you are somebody that's wanted this fight for quite a while. Why do you want to fight Zach Chelli?
Yeah, it's a massive opportunity. I think a lot of people inside boxing know exactly what I'm about, so to get a win on Saturday, yeah, push me right to the top. British level, definitely.
You're from Manchester, you'll have the home fans. Does that give you an edge, an advantage in this fight?
Obviously, yeah, I'm taking about 250, but it's just me and Zach in there. We've got a great game plan, I know exactly what to do, and people are going to see exactly how good I am on Saturday night.
Zach, you were the underdog going in against Anthony Sims Jr. You ripped up the script, dominated him. At this time, do you feel like you can just beat anybody that's placed in front of you?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, he has a plan. Anthony Sims had a plan. Jermaine Brown had a plan. Jack Kilgannon had a plan, but I always destroy their plan. When I go into a fight, I go with plan A to Z. Whatever they bring, I'll adapt, and I'm sure you've seen that many times.
He can switch stances, he's slick, he's unbeaten. Where's this fight won and lost for you?
Well, look how many people whose virginity I've taken from the boxing world, you know what I mean? I've taken so many O's. Nearly half of my records, I've fought undefeated fighters, and I've taken their O, so I'll see the same again.
Mark, you've been in the ring and sparred the likes of Liam Smith, Callum Smith. Even for this camp, you've sparred Callum Simpson. Boxing's all about momentum, and right now, do you just feel like it's your time?
Yeah, I boxed about 6 weeks ago. Was going to be fighting in 2 weeks, so listen, I'm always in the gym, I'm always ready. And when Mick rang me up, when was it, about 2 weeks ago, I said straight away, get this fight before somebody else takes it. I know, like I said, win this, I'm to some big things.
Zach, it's clear you'll fight anybody, but not anybody will fight you. We've ended up with a good fight, maybe a fight we weren't expecting, but do you have a message for the British title holder, Mark Heffron?
What I was going to say, yeah, on Saturday it'll be a different Mark, same story, and then we'll move it whenever he's ready. Hopefully September, it'll be the same story as what I do to Mark on Saturday.
Ben, it seems every time, Dad over there clapping, it seems every time Zach's in a fight, it's a good fight, and it's always a wild card fight, and we have another one on Saturday.
Yeah, Zach Chelli is a dream to work with, to be honest. He lets us choose any opponent we want. He doesn't blink, and he'll take anyone. But Mark Jeffers as well, I remember meeting him a few years ago with his dad, and he's been training with Michael Jennings for a long time now. This is a serious fighter. This is a serious fighter with a great support, that wants to go right to the very top. So to take this on 2 weeks against possibly the best super middleweight in the country right now is a serious statement of intent. I think this can be fight of the night. I think Zach Chelli needs to recognise that he's in a serious fight here on Saturday night, and may the best man win.
Next, let's go to a man that needs no introduction. Every time he fights, we're waiting for something special to happen. It's Ben Whittaker against Vladimir Belousky. Let me go to Vladimir first. Vladimir, you have a hard job ahead of you. Everyone knows how skillful and how difficult and tricky Ben Whittaker is, but how do you win this fight?
How do I win this fight? Just have to catch him and hopefully hurt him and put him away. That's the only way to win this fight.
He's tricky, but you've seen it all. You're well-traveled. Does he possess anything that worries you, or do you have to get in there and use that experience and be rough with him?
No, I know he's a good fighter. You know, he's very skillful, but all it takes is one punch. So we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Ben, all it takes is one punch. Nobody's landed it yet. Good to see you back. You've been a pro for around a year now. How has your assessment of your first year as a professional been?
Hey Vlad, thank you very much, man. I'm thankful you're honest. You know, it only takes one punch, but sadly that won't happen. But yeah, the way my career has gone so far, I'm very happy. I'm moving at the right pace. And Saturday, again, you'll see why I'm special.
How's this camp been for you? What have you added to your arsenal? What do you want to show us on Saturday?
Yeah, we've been working a lot on reaction time, me and Sugar, so we've been playing a lot of Call of Duty, you know, a lot of PlayStation. My fingertips are ready, and you'll see Saturday.
What happens in the ring is most important, of course, but you're a showman outside of the ring. Can we expect any special ring walks or just any added bling?
Hey, well, I'm a man of the Lord, so everybody in here, I know everybody's crafted by the Lord himself, but when it comes to me, I know they took some time on me. And Saturday, you'll see why I'm special. I've got the ring walk ready, the kit ready, my hair's ready. You see the jewels on me as well. It's only right I shine. Your coach loves knockouts. You love knockouts. Are you expecting a stoppage win on Saturday night? You don't get paid for overtime. I want to be back in the hotel by the time Savannah's in the ring, if I'm honest, so that's what I'm looking to do.
Ben, you've got a superstar in your hands here. It's going to be really hard to keep the training wheels on him and hold him back. He's still young, he's still a novice pro, but he's a promoter's dream, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I think as well as that, he's an elite fighter. I think there was a lot of talk at the start of his professional career as to whether we look at super middleweight or light heavyweight, but since his injury, the way he's come back physically, he's a different specimen now. He's every bit a light heavyweight and a big light heavyweight. He's not only the showman, but he's going to go right to the very top of his division, and it's just a matter of time. We want him to be an absolute superstar by the time he gets here. It's important that people see him fight. It's important that he's in every single home in the country. I think this is a guy that can bring new fans to the sport of boxing. I truly believe that. It's going to be a big journey ahead. It's going to be a long journey ahead, but he just needs to stay active, keep doing what he's doing, and he's going to have those big nights to come.
Next up is our chief support, and it is world title business. Natasha Jonas takes on Kandi Wyatt. Kandi, I spoke to you yesterday. You seemed cool, calm, focused at the public workout. How has camp been?
Camp has been great. Yeah, I trusted in my team. I just showed up to the gym and did what they told me every day, and yeah, I had a great camp. I'm in a great spot physically, great spot mentally, like ready to throw hands on Saturday.
This will be your 4th attempt at a world title. 4th time lucky?
Yeah, 4th time's a charm. Is that a thing? But yeah, 4th world title attempt. I'm super excited. Like I said, I'm in a really good spot, and I'm very excited to be here. I really enjoy fighting in England, so yeah, I'm just ready to go on Saturday.
You'll have no doubt watched a lot of Natasha. What does she do well, and what can you exploit?
Natasha's a very tidy boxer, like very fundamentally sound, which is going to be fun. Ways to exploit it, maybe I can try to make the fight a little bit messy for her, make it a little bit more difficult for her to keep that tidy, like tight boxing.
Natasha, it's been a crazy 18 months. This will be your chance to pick up a 4th world title, another weight division. Could you have dreamed of anything quite like this?
I don't think so. Yeah, it looks so far away at one stage, and you know, a credit to Ben, to boxing, to Sky, everything that he said when I signed that first contract, he's done. So yeah, we're here. It's been a frustrating start to 2023, but we're here. We've got the date, and it's happening on Saturday, and I'm just happy to be in the ring and get the ring rust off. Manchester
is a city that you seem to do really well in. I'm not sure how good of a thing that is because you're from Liverpool, but it seems to be a place where you give some really good performances. What is it about that AO arena that kind of brings out the best in you?
I think it's close to home. You know, it's only 40 minutes down the motorway. We get a lot of Scousers in here. I'm an honorary man coming from Champs Camp, and that's not good to say as a Scouser, but I am. And yeah, I think 2 out of my 3 titles last year was won here, so it's got good memories. You know, I perform well, I like putting on a show, and I like performing. And to be fair, I've been in Kandi's position where, you know, well, I was 3. It was my third time lucky, and it happened for me. But I've got to make sure I do everything right so it doesn't happen for her.
You've been campaigning at Super Welter. We're now back down at Welter. Is this a more natural weight for you?
Yeah, if you look at me, the weigh-ins at Super Welter, I was never anywhere near the 154 limit. You know, I was 149 with my clothes on. So yeah, it's been very comfortable. I feel comfortable. You know, I'm still eating, I'm still drinking. That's a bonus.
What does Kandi bring to the table? You know, there's not that much to see of her online, but what kind of fight are you expecting?
I'm expecting her to bring it. You know, I've seen the fights with Bav, McCaskill, Lina Dartu, and another southpaw. She's tough, she's durable, she'll keep coming, she'll keep throwing shots. And I've just prepared myself for the best version of her, and I'll present the best version of me, and the best woman will win.
Give us a prediction. On Saturday, does Natasha Jonas become a 2-weight world champion?
She always does. You know, I don't like predictions, but she always does.
Ben, 4 world titles in 18 months is crazy to think of, but you've played a huge part here in delivering these opportunities.
I wouldn't say a huge part, just a little.
No, just a bit.
No, it's been an incredible journey. I think Natasha signed, when she signed to us, she was a lightweight, and we went up to super welterweight because that's just a way where the opportunities came. Won 3 world titles, incredible, Fighter of the Year last year, but to now go to somewhere she feels more natural at is even more exciting. I think every time she fights, she seems to get better and better, and now to be in the welterweight division where perhaps there are bigger fights, there are bigger names, even at super lightweight, I could see Natasha potentially becoming a 3-weight world champion now, which, looking back, we were just delighted to get that 1 world title. So yeah, amazing journey. Could be another emotional night on Saturday night, but yeah, she's got a lot to do on Saturday, and that's where the focus has to be. And thank you to Kandi Wyatt as well, because it's another world title on the card.
That is all from our undercard presser. The fighters are going to come down, do some head-to-heads, and then we will be back for the top of the bill press conference.